Good evening, Hi, everyone. The guys in the replay. How you going? Thanks for coming along. Checking out Rapid Startups tonight. We are doing an online workshop for people starting their own thing. We are looking at a bonus this evening. It's pulling it all up for you. So we'll pull that together. I've got a few slides to show you through tonight. We meet once a week. I'm Nathan from Rapid Startups. And this week is a launch recap. So we've been going through the 7-day startup from Dan Norris. Dan Norris is an Australian entrepreneur who started wpcurve.com and a few other businesses, who has also written a book, 2 books actually. And one of them is the 7-day startup. And we follow the 7-day startup as part of a meetup group and pull the businesses together in 7 days. So it's great fun. And we've hit launch next week. We actually did a live 7-day startup last week, and we launched a business. So we got to the launch day, launched our business as well. So part of the fun, which is great fun. So I'm going to do a launch recap today, take you through everything that we had. I think we've just pulled everything up. We do a Q&A here as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can use the YouTube chat. It's live there up to the, I need to check this. I think it's that side. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'll sort that out. But the chat should be available. Oh, sorry, let me get rid of that on the screen. Everyone needs to know who I am. There we go. So the chat there on YouTube, if you're watching on Google Hangouts or YouTube, then you can use the comments from there. If you don't have access to that, if you're watching from your mobile phone, you can go to www.rapidexecutive.com/workshop, and that will take you to this embedded on my website. And there's a chat function in there that actually functions on the website. So that works on a mobile phone as well. All right, so we normally kick in with some presentation. I have some slides just to make it a bit visual. We don't have to stare at my face. I'll talk you through that. So a bit of a recap from last week, which was the metrics session in day 6. And then I'm going to walk you through what I got up to for my launch. It wasn't all roses, that's for sure. So yes. So we do have a chat in here, so you can chat in YouTube, you can chat on the page as well. This is a pretty interactive session. This is a bonus session today, so we're jumping out of the 7 days. This is the in-between episode. We will have the launch session next Tuesday, where we talk about day 7, launching your ideas. I want to get a bunch of people on, or some case studies for people who have actually launched. This week, I'm going to show you the launch that I did last week for the 7-day startup. I can see Sin in there. Hi, Sin. How are you going? Nice to see you. Yes, you are watching live, and I can talk to you. Hi. So you get comments in there, questions in there. We'll get through this session. This won't take long at all this week. So a quick recap from last week. I'll walk you through just what I did, what I got up to on my launch day, just an example, which is a precursor to next week, which is the actual launch session for these online workshops. Yes, you are. Yes, you are watching me live, Tim. Yeah, so I'll quickly step you through that. And if we have a few people on here who have questions about their launch or any of their business issues, let me know, and we'll step through them as well. All right, so let me flick over to the presentation. I'll quickly just run you through what we got up to for our launch. So our launch is Bulletproof Diet Plans, or bpdietplan.com. So it's a online meal planning service for ketogenic and bulletproof type diets. Let me quickly just run through what we did last session. So always start with your why. We always start with that. So metrics we talked about. So we're always starting with our why, because eventually everything becomes a job. But if you do what you love, you'll never actually work a day in your life. I wholeheartely believe that. The days where I'm feeling fine, feeling fantastic, enjoying myself for what I'm doing, it doesn't matter whether I'm working or not, I'm still enjoying myself. All right, so the concept from the 7-day startup book is an OMTM, or one metric that matters. So this is from the previous session, day 6, which is metrics. just getting yourself a metric that you can measure to ensure that you know that your launch is successful, or your business takes off as you expect it. So you can definitely get carried away, especially if you're launching so quickly. All sorts of things can happen. So if you do have some sort of ability to track your metrics, just pick one that is going to show you the best indication of whether you're successful or not. Try and pick something that's financial or growth based versus things like vanity metrics or visits. So what I mean by that is Facebook likes versus actual converted sales. There's a big difference between those. One's a vanity metric, obviously, and the other one can actually give you some sort of growth or financial benefits to your launch. You can set this one metric that matters and just set your time zone for that for a month. It could be a week, it could be a month, depending on the type of product or service that you have, and then make sure you revisit that as well. It may change. The assumptions that you made around it might be different. Hi guys, you can click on your name and change your name there. So apologies, it comes up. I've set it to come up as anonymous when you first dial in so that you can actually type whatever you like, but you can click over your name and change it to whatever you like, so I know who you are. Right, and try and early on, obviously, you don't really be sticking yourself to metrics too much. So try and pick one metric at a time and focus on that. So you know the ins and outs of it, set up, and what you're actually measuring, what you're actually reporting on as well. So as far as tracking goes, we did a bit of an intro to funnels. Now, funnels is something I absolutely geek out on. All the guys from the meetup group know I love talking about funnels. I'm very, very nerdy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So what I did was put together a simple Facebook funnel just to give you an idea. So we're driving cold traffic, it's paid traffic, using Facebook to a blog post, rather than you might have seen them turn up, those sponsored posts that turn up in your Facebook feeds. Rather than here's a product, click here to buy, I'm actually putting in some interesting information about the health benefits to one of our products. So that blog post then has a call to action on that page for an email list. If you would like to get a downloadable version of this this information about this healthy product, you can sign up here and it'll take you to the page and I'll email it to you. So I'm actually qualifying those leads. So people will like it and sign up. If they do like it, they'll sign up. And that way I can qualify those people as interested in that, potentially interested in that product. And further on, it would say, and if you'd like to purchase, you can purchase here, and actually convert those people into buyers. So just to give you an indication of what that is, here is that version as a Google ad as well. So you can see on the left-hand side there, that's what it would look like in your Google feed would come up. It takes you to a page on MCT oil or coconut oil. So that's what people are searching for, and that's what I'm trying to rank for. It gives you some information on that, and it's trying to get people to sign up. And there's a couple of ways to sign up. So if you can't see that there, I'll read that out to you. We're giving away copies of this handy guide below. Download it, print it, and share it. It's yours free. When you go scroll down, it says to have this sent to you, then give us your email address. So qualifying leads, again, putting them on the mailing list, and we're also actually able to track buyers as well. I walked you through how to create a Facebook pixel, which is Facebook's little code for tracking people on your site. Hi, Jeremy. How you going? And so if you wanted to walk through that step, if you're interested in setting up funnels for yourself, for your website, you can have a look at last week's episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the little YouTube button and it'll take you to my subscribe page, which has got all of them on there. So click subscribe and you'll get access to all of those. All right. I quickly gave you a rundown. So in the last 7 days, I've spent $135, and just have a look at the new customers at the top. That was basically these are new customers I'm looking for. So I'm driving cold traffic to try and get new customers. And the results was 1,100 conversions at 25 cents each, which is craziness considering most conversions are around $100 each. So that's pennies putting in pennies and getting out hundreds, which is fantastic. Okay, this was actually something that got to me early on when I first started my business and my e-commerce store online. I like to get things for free. I like to use the hack together a bunch of the freemium options or the freebie option, because I know how things work. I can put this free option here and put this free option here, and I can make something work for me. But that's something you can't actually do with ads. So I just avoided ads at first. When my it was actually my wife put our first ad up for our e-commerce store, and I was absolutely blown away by the results. So I was converted straight away. So what I found out was if you don't pay to play, you can end up going home, going home poor. All right, so let's quickly jump into this week's session, which is about my launch. So I thought it was apt to repeat one of our quotes from last week. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Thank you, Mr. Tyson. So we launched, but stuff was broken. So I had some issues with the launch. One was an external issue with PayPal. This is a little bit of a tricky one. I'll try and be brief here. I am attempting to sell to two completely different geographic demographics at the moment. So I have a specific product for Australians. I'm able to give Australians physical products. I'm able to give Australians specialized service, in-person things, which I can't actually do for overseas customers that easy. So I have a completely different pricing structure for Australian customers versus overseas customers. Now, the tools that we're using doesn't make that exactly easy because of the way that I want to set it up. I want it to be as seamless for both parties. I want it to be seen as two separate, completely separate things. So I do actually have to set that up separately. So I have a e-commerce type installation for the overseas viewers. Now I get a lot of organic traffic from overseas. So on launch day, I had some overseas customers straight away and they couldn't pay. So we were getting some cranky emails from people saying I put in my PayPal address and it said that there was an encryption error. So I lost my first few customers before I even had them, which wasn't great. Also, so that's part one, and I can fix that. So what I'll do is I'll walk you through the problems that we had and how I'm fixing them. The second problem on my e-commerce side of the business, which is kind of tied into this whole launch, a new product was launched without any, I guess, preliminary information and marketing stuff. So I quickly had to clamor together a launch for that new product for us, which ran 2 days before, the day of, and 2 days after my launch. So that kind of took a little bit of our time, and we focused on that from a mailing list perspective as well. So at the same time, I was about to email my local list and say, hey, there's a new service for you. It's called bpdietplan.com. I had to actually email them about our product. I didn't want to mix the two together and cause too many inbox spamming issues and lose any of my customers because I was bugging them with two different completely things. I decided to hold off the local launch and do the product launch instead. And the third thing was the initial feedback I got from the overseas customers that could actually buy, and one local customer that had been waiting to join the list and was kind of one of our first customers anyway, prior to the actual launch day, asked if we could do it a different way. Now, after hearing this twice from, let's say we had 5 customers and 2 of them asked for this. We asked the other 3 customers if they would prefer it this way as well, and they said they thought that's what it was. So let's get into what that actually is. So let me just talk to you a little bit about what I created. So here is BP Diet Plan. It's a website landing page, the landing page that I talk about a lot, the structure of a standard landing page. We did this in day 4. If you missed that one, jump back on day 4, I'll show you how to set up a beautiful looking landing page like this that's all about conversions. So you can see there, I'm telling you exactly what this is. You can pretty much tell with the visual as well. And I actually have two calls to action there, but one is to buy. The other one is if you're not exactly sure what this is, then you can find out a bit more as well. The details behind it is on the left-hand side is the sort of the printable. I email out a weekly plan, and then that plan is also on the right-hand side. That's the membership site. So I built a membership site. That was day 5, or the interim version of day 5 for us. If you step back to the advanced sites webinar that we did, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, I walked you through exactly how to set up one of these membership sites as well. So this is a component you put on your website to allow people to log in. They get usernames and passwords. They get their own private little back end with information that you can put on there for them. It has a high perceived value, things like that as well. And it's just an easy way to sort of drip out content to people. And it's, I guess it gives a bit of exclusivity to things as well. So that's the basics that I set up. Unfortunately, we had some payment issues to get people inside, but once we did get them inside, they did give us some errors. So that was the PayPal issue. Customers receiving an error message at checkout. So they got all the way through. I was qualifying them. I was walking them all the way through to the payment part. And just as they went to pay, it died. So they had to enter in. These are some overseas customers as well. So overseas customers are required by PayPal to enter in their address, their physical address. So I had to get their address details as well as their credit card, all that entered in, and then it gave basically a terribly worded error message on the page with no feedback really for the customer. As I mentioned, the new product was launched by our supplier with not a lot of information given to us. So that stole our weekly email slot, and our launch email sequence for those local customers was also delayed. As I touched on briefly, the customers have actually given us some feedback to change this from a weekly to a 30-day challenge. Now, effectively, you might think, well, this is a 4-week thing and it's 4 weeks is 30 days. What's the difference? It's more around the, I guess, the psychological view of this being what could you achieve over time? So this is something I can give you for a couple of weeks and then it'll be done. Or this is a challenge that will actually give you these benefits. So it's more of a transformational thing rather than what's perceived as something that fly by night. It's a very strange thing to think that there's actually any difference between this. One's 28 days, one's 30 days. But something that actually, or someone that does this really, really well, and you may have heard of them, is Simple Green Smoothies. Now, these guys are absolutely crushing it online. They're doing it really, really well. They do this 30-day green smoothie challenge. Basically, it's one green smoothie per day. It's a really simple, really easy to attain, really easy to win sort of psychological thing to improve your health over a period of time. The way they do it is a challenge. They do it sort of live, and then they've got afterwards you could sort of follow along by yourself. But if you did it live, then there's a bit of community around it, and they've done really, really well. So those challenges are moving people and transforming them rather than I'm saying this is a weekly guide. I guess it doesn't really have the same ring to it. And I understand the customer feedback there. To me, it didn't really make sense at first, but now it certainly does. So it's not a huge change for us. It is some format change. It is the wording changes. A lot of the marketing that's gone in around this needs to be changed as well. It's only wording, but should be an easy fix. But we are going to relaunch now that we've got the timing right, the PayPal button fixed with this new format. So once I get those couple of things done, which would be PayPal is actually fixed, new product is done. That was an extremely successful weekend. I'm so impressed. I've mentioned over the last 2 weeks that e-commerce with physical products is a great way to start. It was an excellent business venture for me for the last 18 months. But I do not enjoy staying up till midnight every night doing packing orders. So we did have a bit of a late night last night, finalizing all of it on the back of a long weekend, but it wasn't too bad. So it was an extremely successful weekend. So I'm happy with that. Happy we were able to focus on that as well. The email sequence is in progress that will be completed this week, and the 30-day challenge copy will be done in the coming week as well. And boom, we'll be away again. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll have this done and actually be launching on the next webinar, which is next Tuesday. This is a Tuesday to Tuesday weekly cycle that we've got on for the 30-day challenge as well. So the emails will come out every Tuesday with a follow-up during the week. So if we launch on a Tuesday, then it'll effectively give us almost a week of onboarding with our first lot of customers as well before the first week's session starts. So it should all work out. All right, just a quick recap and we'll jump back and answer any questions. Always remember your why. We went through some pre-launch activities that we went through and some launch problems and solutions. We also did obviously a recap of last week. All right, let's jump into Q&A. Let's come back to my face. All right, I know I walked through that really quickly, but I just wanted to give you an indication of how my launch week kind of went or didn't go at all, actually. It was interesting. It was fun. I'm very happy with where we landed, and I think we made the right decision to hold off for a week while we regathered things. It's not about us launching, it's about what the customer wants. So if the customer asked us to do it slightly different, then they're the ones paying. So we are in this to help people. We are in this to help those customers out. We are effectively a transformation component anyway, so I'm happy that it's actually going to be worded that way. So I think it more reflects the true nature of the product. So I'm really happy with that. Okay. All right, there's still a couple of you here. So I know that you guys are in the chat session on the website. Do you guys have any questions around yours? If you're new here, I think Jeremy, I haven't seen you here before. If I have, then I apologize. But where are you coming in from? Are you local here in Perth with us, or are you somewhere else? What are you working on? A question I had this week. See if I can actually pull that up. We are doing a. We've gotten a bit of time now to do our relaunch, and something we stumbled across the other day. I might actually flick this across and show you. So impressed with this. If I can pull that up, where is it? Apologies, I should have had this prepped up. I really wanted to show you this. I think it would be really cool. Let me pull my face over there. So doing a launch, obviously promoting yourself, promoting your launch, part of your marketing plan. So we talked about marketing in day 5. So that was 2 episodes ago, 3 episodes ago. Sorry, there was another interim one in there. We talked about the marketing strategy. So finding out where your market is, go where the fish are, and targeting with the language that they speak on the platforms that they're on. So if they're on Snapchat, you got to get on Snapchat. If they're on Facebook, you got to get on Facebook. If they're a certain target demographic, find out where that target demographic actually sits and go and market to them there. A scattergun approach of an inch deep, a mile wide is not going to really get to your target customer. It's not going to penetrate. And talking penetration, you're not actually going to get get through the noise if you're just starting out. So putting up a tweet once saying I've got a thing and you've got about 11 followers is not going to be very effective marketing. There is, however, some products and tools, and if I can show you this. Now this actually is from, I've been looking at this tool myself, but found this guide. It's actually from Dan Norris on WP Curve on the blog. So he used Thunderclap to do a promotion for his books. When he did the Thunderclap for Content Machine, it was absolutely fantastic. I joined in on that. I think he did it as well for the last 7-day startup. So wpcurve.com/thunderclap-for-product-launches. I'll put this in the notes for today. It's not in there at the moment, but I will put it in. I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but I will put it in there for any replay viewers. And a little bit later on, if you check back, I'll put it there. But you guys who are on live, you can check it in there as well. So if you just go onto WP Curve, I don't think it's on the right hand side there, but you can just type in Thunderclap, it'll be there. So this tool allows you to, I guess, effectively cut through the noise if you don't have the following just yet. So you could put in effectively a PR campaign on social media using this tool. What it will do, it's kind of like if I give you an indication down here, you'll set a deadline and a date where this sort of media campaign, this massive big push will go out at the same time to social media. And if you have a look there, The End of Jobs by Taylor Pearson, which was one of the books that went out via this service, you effectively get backers. It's like a Kickstarter or a crowdfunding campaign, but done with social media. So you grab a bunch of supporters. Once you've got your supporters, it can obviously go over your supporter number. If you're looking for 100 people to back you, they'll sign up to Thunderclap. He obviously said 100 and he ended up getting 136 people. When they sign up to Thunderclap, they'll use their usually Twitter, and the social reach is that person's followers and their following. So when Twitter puts a tweet out from them, it's how many people that would actually reach. So the 136 supporters of Taylor's book ended up having a social reach of 189,940 people, which Thunderclap on the day that you set to go live. So say your book is launching on Amazon on this day or something like that, or your service goes live or your first customer is able to buy or something like that. 189,000, potentially 189,000 people would see it, but all at the same time. And that's the key. It actually comes out exactly the same time. So it's kind of cutting through the noise because there's so much hype going on. There's a lot of people looking at it. There's a lot of people, I guess, viewing it, which sort of impressions is what they use in the ad terms. So there's a lot of people having a look at it at the time, which helps it rank. And a lot of people clicking on it, a lot of people potentially interacting with it. If they're supporters of your group, they might have seen it. You might share it out again. They might retweet it. They might like it and things like that. So all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of buzz around this one tweet or one launch or product. But I think it's really, really fantastic. There's a way to obviously track your links and see where they all came from. This is a really fantastic article. It's quite deep. It's done by the guys over at WP Curve. It's really excellent. So I recommend jumping on that. I will, as I said, put it in the notes. It's a really good read. So if you are planning on launching like a book or a course or something like that, or even a product, chucking it up on, sorry, I need to pull that over there. Chucking it up on Thunderclap. Thunderclap is free. They have paid plans as well to give you more reach and a few other bits and pieces. They only guarantee the launch if you do pay, but a lot of them get through anyway. So it's quite a very cool service. So I will be looking at a Thunderclap campaign for the actual second launch we do for BP Diet Plan. We already have a little bit of a following, not that many, but enough for us to be happy enough with that to do and to get a bit of initial traction on that. Cool. So you met me. So does that mean you've been to our Perth meetup? That's great. Fantastic. What are you working on at the moment, Jeremy? Or what's got you excited at the moment? Let's see if we got some questions over here in YouTube as well. I know that that's a really hard tool to use if you're all looking at this on your phone. I've checked the metrics on this. A lot of the viewers come in via phone. So, and to be honest, if I got sent a webinar, I'd probably watch on my phone as well. So it is a lot easier if you jump on the site. So that's rapidexecutive.com/workshop. It takes you straight here. If you signed up via webinar, rapidexecutive.com/webinar, it'll actually take you there anyway. So cool. Okay, Tin or Jeremy, do you guys have any questions tonight? I do need to jump off shortly because I've got a back-to-back tonight. possible water biz. Okay. Is that like, tell me a bit more. Is that a water product, or like a water filter, or a bottle of water, or a water brand? Anything else you can tell me about that? That's cool. It's obviously a hot commodity. Sorry for the pun. I'm actually helping a business out in Perth at the moment who has a pretty cool water product as well. Water filter system with my own brand. Cool. Can I ask a question? What's your differentiator? I've met some of the guys from, is it Sexy Water? Fantastic name. They do like a pH 9 level water system, something around how good quality. It's not structured water exactly, but it's pH water, pH 9 water. I'm very interested in water. I'm part of my BP diet plan, part of the e-commerce business I have, and part of some of my coaching is around biohacking. So I'm very interested in good water and how important that is to us. It's not just the stuff that comes out of the tap. Is that a side business, or is it something you already do? Is it like a complementary thing to a service you already offer, or somewhere you already work? Or let me know any other details on that, 'cause I'd love to chat to you about that. Okay, very similar. Provides free radical for our blood circulation. Oh, cool, awesome. So is that something you've developed yourself? Is it something you are looking to develop? Whereabouts are you in the concept versus prototype versus actual product? If you don't mind sharing with with everyone watching, obviously. One thing we do say every time we meet, and this is definitely for one of the ones in person. If you are in Perth, we do meet every second Wednesday in the city. We have it's a very small knit group, so we try and keep it. Yes, cool. Helps fight cancer disease. Absolutely, absolutely, especially the blood type ones. So if you are in Perth, we meet every second Wednesday in person. We try and keep it small to keep it a bit more of a mastermind. So it's not me talking about stuff. It's I will introduce the circle, and the circle introduces themselves. A bit more like a kind of meeting. We introduce each other, what our ideas are and what we're good at. We've had people, sort of web designers, meeting with people who want to design an app, or business people that have contacts in certain areas, of day job people who knew people here, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really good mesh of people. So if you want to come along to that, we're always helping each other out. Next meetup is on May the 4th. Be with you in next Wednesday. Yes, so it's Tuesday today. So not tomorrow, but the Wednesday after, which is May the 4th. We are meeting up in the city. So it's at Beecham Group, Beecham Addis, which is in 191 St. George's Terrace. But we meet online every Tuesday. So I know a lot of people couldn't get to the in-person. I have 2 young kids and a dog. So it's difficult for me to get into the city all the time as well. So we do meet in person for those of us who like to get some physical interaction. But we wanted to meet more often, so we meet online as well on a Tuesday. So we're trying to keep it in sync as best we can. So I try and do a interim. Obviously, I use this one to do a recap of last week's launch. But every Tuesday we'll go through the 7 days as well. Next Tuesday will be the launch. Next Wednesday will be the launch as well. So the in-person version. But this helps me, helps me help you, helps people that aren't actually in Perth, that can't get to the meetups as well. So try and expand along and help other people as well. Cool. That'd be great. Yeah, love to see too. Awesome. All right. Let me know. You can reach out here. You can reach out onto to YouTube as well. I think my contact details are there. You can grab me on there if you want to chat more about it on there before we catch up. Otherwise, I can catch you in person. Okay, so for everyone on the replay, that will wrap up this session a lot faster than usual. Definitely wanted to give you a rundown of that. Wasn't all roses. It certainly wasn't all roses. Wasn't too stressful. The systems are there to ensure that it's as hands off as possible for this sort of thing. We did have one technical issue and some customer feedback, which is important. So I don't think it was an unsuccessful launch. Technically, it wasn't a launch. Technically, it was a launch. Anyway, it was good. It was good fun either way, and I'm very happy with that. All right, I hope that was helpful. We are going through the launch session next week. So if you have launched your business, or you are launching your business, or you need a hand, need to promote that as well, let me know and I can push that up as well. I am hoping to grab some case studies of the guys from the group and the guys online that are launching. If you are up to launch, you want to get your stuff out there. If you're having trouble with your launch, let me know. Let me know during the week as well, and I can give you a hand as well. If you need any tools or any help, you can jump on there. And as always, if you do need some in-person help as well, you can grab a free 15-minute Skype call with me. I've opened up a few sessions again. We had to close down some of them last week. We kind of run out, and I actually double booked someone. So I apologize to that person. I won't call you out here, but that was totally my fault. I let the system book 2 in the one day at the same time. So, but fix that. That won't happen again. 15-minute calls, rapidexecutive.com/coaching. You can grab it there. Nothing else there. So grab that. I'll jump on a session with you and step you through it. Anything you're having an issue with at the moment, and I can give you a hand, or I can point you in the direction of something or someone that can help. All right, that'll wrap up this session. I hope that was useful. Next week we go through launch. So everything we need to prep during your launch, on your launch day, how to prepare your systems, how to prepare yourself mentally so you don't go crazy, anxiety and stress, and just look at it as another day. It's the first day of your business. There's a lot more days hopefully to come. All right, guys. See you, Jeremy. See you, Jin. I will catch up, Jin, with you. I'm interested to hear how you're going with your prep for the big hackathon coming up. All right. Talk to you later, guys. See ya.